What did you make? Are you glass half empty, glass half full? Are we somewhere in the middle?
I'd say I'm probably somewhere in the middle. What I can say is that among our 5,000 customers who are chief people officers, heads of people, there's a lot of discussion about what the second half of this year looks like in preparation for next year. I do think that the medium term, people are optimistic from sitting in my seat because we're seeing really great talent in the market, and we're seeing some softening in some of our businesses as it relates to software sales and others, a softening of the really tough times that we've been through over the past 6 to 12 months. So we're seeing those glimmers, but I can tell you that right now we're still in a place where we're all very conservative. Headcount is really being thoughtful in terms of who we're going to hire, where we're going to hire, and we're keeping a very close eye on the compensation data because what we're seeing is reflecting what these broader trends are as well.
Well, in the technology sector, what do wages look like? How competitive is it but using compensation as a proxy?
Yeah, what's interesting is our data lags behind the real market. We know it does by about 6 months. So we're still seeing data that was from the end of last year that's still very high. And the hope is that we will see some of those rates come down ultimately so that we can have better balance in terms of our salary spend, which, as everyone knows, is around 70% of our total spend as businesses. We are starting to see that. We're starting to see that in some of those really spiky roles, our top engineering roles, some of our roles on the sales side. We're seeing some of that come down, but it's not across the board.
I mean, AI, I can imagine. Prompt engineers, you name it, are going to be still pretty demanded for and recompensed in light of that, Cara. Do you feel, though, the bracing that we had in the tech sector of yet more job losses, yet larger 10%, 20% cuts, is that a thing of the past now? Have people right-sized to a certain degree?
In general, yes. That's what I'm hearing from our customers, the folks that are now focused on the people that they have in seat, knowing that the growth is slowed for the second half of this year. But I do feel like people feel like their hands are on the wheel now, and they're able to look forward to the next 6 months with a plan that's realistic. It's very different than this time last year when nobody knew what was happening and we were all trying to manage to it.
Well said. And Ed, I mean, when we look at the broader labour data, non-farm payrolls, it's very hard to really discern what's happening at a tech level and indeed how broad the tech issues are idiosyncratic to that particular sector or speak more broadly to the overall environment.
Yeah.
I mean, let me jump in here, Cara, real quick, because I think Caroline's raised a really good point, that what I hear from founders, public company executives and everyone in between doesn't match the data. Think about the Challenger Christmas and Grey. We put so much emphasis on that and all the layoffs that were announced. But those were announced, not necessarily enacted. And there are loads of companies I know that are scrambling to find people. They're desperate to hire. Why is there some inconsistency there?
The inconsistency is that we had a period of time, the 2 years during the pandemic, where we were just hiring to hire. Honestly. And what we've done is gone back to what the foundation of good business is and knowing that we have to build for the future state and we have to have the right people in the right seats. So what has happened on the HR side is there have been lots of meetups, lots of webinars, lots of discussion about org design and how to make sure that you're optimizing the performance and productivity of the people who are in the seat. We know that because that's what Lattice does. We're a talent management platform. We've seen the usage of our tool increase month over month and year over year from our customers. Yes. People want to do a better job of managing the talent they have. It's not a hiring spree anymore.
Cara, you know this sector, you know Silicon Valley. Elon Musk and his lawyer have threatened to sue Meta, claiming abuse of trade secrets and through the employment of Twitter employees. Can you enforce an NDA in Silicon Valley? What do you make of that situation?
I can't speak to Elon and Meta's particular situation. What I can tell you is, in my experience, we're very clear in Silicon Valley that the state of California does not allow non-competes to be enforced for the most part. Depends on the specific situation. And I've seen lots of CEOs send lots of nasty letters in the course of my career, and know that sitting in this seat, that you move on, you bring your talent in, and you're not as concerned about non-competes as you might be in other states.